Kia ora. Good morning, beautiful people. I'm sitting here watching the birds this morning and I was thinking about all sorts of things and I thought I would share some of them. This stuff helps me on the journey of my life. I went from at the age of like 26 or 7, somewhere around there. I began picture framing in Australia and had a really successful business on the Gold Coast and Bundall there called Art 81. I trained and became the first, well, one of two actually in Australia, female qualified custom picture framers. That's by the by. The marriage fell apart, and in the course of that, I was taking my son to see a guy called Paul, and he was known as the organic mechanic. He had a clinic on the Gold Coast also, in Bundall, in Ashmore, sorry. And it was a big house, 3 bedrooms, and it was run as a clinic, and he had students come in and people from all over the world came and saw him, and like he never advertised or anything like that. Anyway, because of my son being diagnosed with ADHD at the time, my first son, my eldest son, I ended up at that clinic after being told about it 3 times from 3 different people. So the marriage broke up and I ended up working at this clinic. I needed a qualification to come there. He said, go get a qualification. So I learnt how to do Swedish massage and started working there. And I did and at that point I went on a massive learning curve, learning about the universe and the world around us in a different way. I consider that I've always been a good person. I don't like to do harm to others. I love the earth. I love to help people. I love animals and, gardening and all that sort of wholesome stuff. And yeah, I started to, a lot of different kinds of people came into my life, and I began to learn about the body and how it worked, and then and that we are not just our form. There is more to us. And I began to I never considered myself again to be very psychic or extrasensory. We all have these senses, and if we work and tune into them, they become stronger and clearer, which then becomes like what we know as clairvoyant and clear. It just means your senses are clear, and it's like your body is an antenna, and you become very in-tuned into it. I got to the stage where I could look at a person and scan them and see where there was tension, where there was problems, where the energy wasn't flowing and things like that. And that was with no formal training. That was just what was happening as I was doing the massages. At the time I was doing like probably 6 or 7 a day, depending, and it was my job to, with new clients, to get their date of birth and their information, and look up in the ephemeris where the planets were at the time of their birth, and get them all set up and ready. And then Paul would come in and he'd look at the chart and he'd start talking, and one of his things was medical astrology, amongst many others, and he used so many modalities. It was incredible, and he put them all together, and it was like watching a dance. He could work with these people and they'd walk out of there thrilled. We used to get a lot of people that had fallen through the cracks, so to speak, in the hospital system and on medications and things like that, and he would introduce herbs and massage and the kinesiology, and we'd take it further and we'd start looking at patterns inside of them, and because the body stores these emotions if we don't express them, and they become dis-ease in the form. So along with that, at the same time, I met a lady called Helen Bellow, and she had brung through, she'd done Reiki and was quite high up in that, got her masters and things, and then one day someone said to her, I don't know what you're doing, love, but it's not Reiki. And so she set the task of bringing through Sikkim. So I met this lovely lady, should I say. She put a picture in front of me to be framed. This is still after. And I took one look at that and went, who are you? It was a picture of Metatron, actually. And who's turned out to be fallen, but it's by the by. And from then on, we did an exchange. I was working with oils by that time and doing a thing called raindrop therapy and working with the spine and viruses in the form that store in the spine. And we did an exchange, and it became a collaboration that lasted like another 10 or 12 years until I moved back to New Zealand. So through her, I learned that I was already channeling. And channeling is just bringing through the source that you are with intention and flowing with compassion towards another. And it's basically bringing in more light, and light is information. And, sometimes you're showing things and you can share things with people. I was always taught to do no harm and to never muck with the message. So if you had to tell someone that you saw a polka dot lion running through, I don't know, a purple field, that was what you had to tell them, and it would mean something to them 9 times out of 10. Anyway, I learnt a lot about the quantum field and energy and what we are, and that everything is a vibrating field of energy. Some people are coming out now and calling it holographic, so my learning has continued, and it's still going, and my understanding is still growing. Now, this whole gang stalking business, this whole AI threat to the matrix, we're going to get you stuff, it's all holographic. It's all about frequencies. After I'd had my brain surgery in 2016, I think it was, on my comeback, I learned about frequencies and binaural beats and things like that, and the different frequencies in the ears for each hemisphere of the brain, and the balance and things. And I had people savagely telling me that your frequencies are a load of bullshit and all sorts of stuff, and I was like, well, whatever, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and it doesn't interfere with you, so that's cool. So what these people out here are doing is using these frequencies to force and interfere in your space deliberately to cause harm. This is happening in the quantum field. There's frequencies all around us. Ideally, we want to tune into the frequency of love. Resonate with love and feel and give and receive and be motivated by love and all we think, say and do. And clearly there's other beings on the planet that aren't into that, and they hate you for it, and it's their hate that drives them to cause harm. It's really sad. I could never understand it. I couldn't get my brain around it, but I am now, and I need to now, and so do you, because it's going to save your ass. So anyway, so one of the things that I came to understand, apart from the fact that there are demons and Mr. Smith things jumping around out there and all sorts of stuff, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do and what you're tuning into and focusing on. So this is my understanding. I'll share it with you. It may help you, it may not. Just give it a go. It's simple, it's easy. There goes Mr. Stalker. It's simple, it's easy. Basically, you're sitting here on Earth in your suit, in your, what should we call it? We'll just call it form. The form comes from Earth. It is grown and created in the mother's womb. The mother's womb is a portal. The soul comes from Source down through this portal and and is actually co-creating with the mother, this form, this life. It's all been chosen by the soul, it's all been picked out, it's all been mapped out. They've chosen each other so that you will have certain experiences for each, for each that coincide with your learning and what you want to experience in the lives. So mum grows body, portal for soul. You are born into this world in your suit. Now your suit came from the earth, Mother Earth. So we have a connection with Mother Earth through the suit, and Mother Earth holds it all together. So there's a field of energy just under your skin called the fascia, and it how can I explain this? It's like an extension of the Earth's energy that runs around the Earth. Like sometimes if you look at the trees or a bird or things like that, you'll see the energy field around them. We have that around us. And then with the soul in the body, this moves around in the nervous system. It animates this form. The soul is the part of you that has never changed. If you sit right back in yourself and think back to all the things that have happened to you in your past, there is a part of you that is centered and still that has never changed. That's your soul. So, if you are inclined and you can manage a lot of things through learning about this stuff, you connect with the earth. Your heart is the center of everything. Mother Earth's heart, pure source heart above you. So you want to be connected to the center of the earth, to the heart of the earth, and you want that energy flowing to your heart. So you want to imagine a beam of light, if you will, going out through your heart, which is like enormous. It's not just the organ in there. There's a big chakra and energy center around it, and it is connected to Mother Earth's heart, and you want that connection flowing strong and clear so that you're grounded and centered and your energy's flowing. Your electric field, your fascia, your etheric field, connected. You want it all connected and flowing, and your heart open. And you are grateful for Mother Earth because she's provided you with this form, with the food to feed the form, with the beautiful things around to nourish your soul and your vision. And we got to love Earth. She's beautiful. And then from the heart, you go straight up. This connection is your connection to pure source, where you came from, to the Creator, to God, whatever you want to call it. It is an incredibly intelligent, loving, compassionate force. And it's everywhere. Everything is made of this love. And it comes into your heart. So your heart is shining with the love, and it's shining and connected and grounded to the earth. It's anchored to the earth, and your form allows the extension of pure source to be here, that you are. And it's your job to have your best life, to be the best you can be, to be creative and loving and kind and nurturing and compassionate to all your fellow creatures and humans. It's a bit of a tough cause when they're coming at you, but it's actually quite easy. Like, you might go through a stage of thinking that they're not that wonderful. But if you think of it, you've got to maintain that detachment. If you think of it like a school, and like you know all these people in spirit, and they've agreed to play this crap role for you so that you can learn. And I have discovered that possibly in previous incarnations that I've been an absolute, I've played those roles. So, anyway, here we are. Here we are. That's not my role this time. So yeah, we're anchoring this light here. We want to shine this light. We want to be this light. So if you set all of that up and you shine yourself, just imagine it, say every morning and every night, And then you can start adding things to it. You can put your big shields around it. You can imagine things being thrown at you, just bouncing off them and going back to where they came from. There can only be love in your space and peace. You want to hold your space of love. The other thing is, like, I was listening to the different types of beams last night, which inspired me to be thinking about this. And there's different levels of hertz, right? And they're the lower ones, like the 0.1 and the 5, and the really, really low ones. They cause big problems. Can cause big problems if they're aiming them at you with directional speakers and shit like that. So for example, some of them can put like a layer of static over you. So you can, with intention, using your visualization and intention, flowing this energy that you're imagining, build it up, build it up, build it up. See and visualize yourself in front of you covered in static. It might be like a whole lot of black dots, whatever it is. Or get your sword out and cut it. Whatever you do, imagine it like a big blanket over you. Cut the blanket, dissolve the blanket, blast it with a bloody fire blaster. Whatever you've got to do in your imagination, blast it, cut it, and let it, just see it flowing down to the earth and turning it into a river of golden light. If you can do this, that's called a clearing, and you're releasing that energy, and that's how you work with the quantum field, with your visualization and intention. So that is why they don't want you going within. They don't want you sitting quietly. They don't want you meditating. They don't want you visualizing. They don't want you knowing this stuff. You're powerful. If we sit in this realm in our mind going, oh my God, it's all fucked, there's nothing I can do, that's exactly where they want you, because then you're generating all the negative emotions that they want for their reasons. We won't get into that, but if you can keep it simple, keep your inner world clear, shining, bright, imagine stuff like that just flowing off you, transmuting. Energy can't be destroyed, it can only be transmuted and changed. And going off you, and see how you feel. See how you feel. We can go and stand on the grass and do it as well. That's kind of different, but you're discharging the excess energies as well. So it's part of me. There's a few ways that you can do it. But the visualization is key. Like if you imagine that they've thrown an etheric weapon at you and it's lodged in your hand, you can imagine a giant white hand going out, see your hand with this weapon in it, and you can pull it out, and then you can seal it up with light, and you can throw the weapon away and transmute it. You can do all sorts of things. You can put the Holy Spirit's hedge of protection around you. You can imagine yourself at 0 point center in your space of love with a hedge of fire and protection around you. You've got to work with flames all around you, with nothing being able to get in. Practice this. See if it works. Get better and better at it, stronger and stronger, shifting your focus into your inner world and your inner vision. See how you go. See how it works out for you. Because it's certainly helping us. And when I say us, I mean my son and I. My son's just turned 25. 25, yeah, he was born in 2000. He's just turned 25. And like, he was raised to be aware of these things, or whatever I was aware of at that time, connected to nature and loving animals and being gentle, kind and respectful. And through this journey, obviously he's a different soul with different learning and different capabilities, and when we collaborate, we learn so much stuff. My lawn mowing man's just arrived. Pretty cool. I'm just going to have a look. Yep, he's just arrived. So it's probably time to go. So kia ora. He's one of the first people I met, actually. Nice Christian man. Very shiny. Anyway, kia ora. Have a beautiful day. Give it a go. Practice peace. Practice love. And be in the light. Get out there and kick ass. Have a great day.
Araha nui.